Hi everyone, it's YC here. Welcome to my channel. It is 83 degrees right now in South Carolina, but our family still likes to have homemade cookies. We don't like to buy them in a pack because to us they don't really taste like much and they're way too expensive for what you get. So I am going to make, do you remember the old-fashioned M&M cookies? Kind of like chocolate chip cookies, but they use M&Ms. And I know you probably have seen them before, or maybe saw them at a function or at a school bakery sale or something like that. They're really cute, and we would like to try and do some M&M cookies today. But I'm probably going to have to wait till it cools down a little bit to throw them in the oven. But I want to make sure that you get the recipe. Okay, and I have started off with 2.5 cups of all-purpose flour, and we will go from there. Now, Miss Diane, I am going to put, you know I always put my recipes in the description. I'm going to put the changes you make to it to also make bars. Some people don't like to make cookies, you know, fussy, little round here, round there, round there. They want to make bars in like a 9 by 13 and be done with it and then just cut them. And I totally get that. I'm at that point where that's all I want to do. So I will make sure, you know, you get the changes of the recipe to do that so you can do M&M squares from bar, you know, a whole sheet pan and then just cut it into squares, you know. Okay, also, Diane, you had requested a couple months back a recipe or for me to make some more Canadian butter tarts. The only thing that has stopped me so far is I haven't been able to find, I haven't got any in yet of the corn syrup. And I don't mean high fructose corn syrup. I'm talking about regular corn syrup that you bake with. I don't have any in yet. I finally got my pure vanilla. Now, the reason I like that corn syrup is it keeps the sugars in the Canadian butter tarts from crystallizing. But since then, my husband purchased vinegar. Vinegar is also an ingredient you can use in them to keep all the sugars from crystallizing. And I may just go that route and try that. Believe it or not, I did not forget about you. I know it seems an eternity since you asked me to do those. But anyway, we'll be working on it, getting you that. The last time I did that recipe, I believe, was in 2020. So please excuse that. Oh, it's hot. And if you see a fly flying around, I think we let in a fly like every 3 minutes. Every time we go in and out, one comes in with us. You know how it is when it gets from spring to summer. Okay. So I'm going to lower this so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So like I said, we have 2.5 cups of flour, and in this little half cup, I have a teaspoon of baking soda, 3/4 teaspoon of salt. They don't use the baking powder in this, they use the soda, just to point that out. Okay, and I'm gonna stir that into my dry ingredients, and then 3/4 cup of brown sugar, and 3/4 cup of white sugar. Okay, and we'll get all this incorporated. You can do it in the order you want. I'm not a fussy person about what I mix first and don't mix first. To me, I figure it all gets in there, and I'm just not that fussy. But some people, you know, they said, no, you know, it's supposed to go a certain way. That's fine if that's what you want to do. It is completely up to you. Okay. So at this point, you're going to put in 1.5 sticks of butter. And if you have to use, you know, margarine or something because of, you know, the economy and all that, that is perfectly fine. There are many out on the markets now that do not have cholesterol like they used to. So that's all good. It'll all work, you know. It'll work. Yeah. So, oh, I got a little piece of paper on that one. I don't want that in a cookie. So yeah, I'm gonna keep cutting this butter into this dough, just like you would, you know, when you're making biscuits. I hope everybody is having a really good day today. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to keep working that butter into this, and I don't want to waste your time, so I'm going to put it on pause for you. Okay, we are back, and you can see it's mixed up in there because what happens is it gets real chunky and has like little pea size, you know, where the butter has made the flour stick together. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and put in 2 eggs. 2 eggs, okay? Like that. Yeah. Et deux. And you know, I am not very good at cracking eggs at all. So all we have left, I think, after this is our vanilla, and of course the star of the show, which is the M&Ms. Yeah. And I think what I'm going to do is when I bake them, I will make sure that I put pictures at the end so you can see what they look like. You know, because I'll probably end up chilling this dough for a little bit until the temperature drops. Because it's kind of crazy right now. It's kind of hot. Now you can see those eggs are just bringing it together. See how it's already starting to wrap in a ball? Let's go ahead and add in our pure vanilla at this time. And it is, let me find my recipe here. It is 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Half teaspoon more than usual recipes. And here I go again. I can't open it. Does vanilla naturally tighten? I have the hardest time at my age opening anything. I mean, it's terrible. Let me go get a cloth and I'll be right back. Okay, my son had to help me open it, so here you go. There's a teaspoon here. Okay. And then here is a 1/2 teaspoon. Ooh. There we go. My goodness, I can't open nothing. All you young people out there, don't get old. That's all I can say to you. Okay. No fish oil, eh? For all you people who do not know French, that is, it's hot. No fish oil. Okay, so there you go. It's going into a ball. That is absolutely fantastic. At this time, we're going to go ahead and put in dill pickle spears. Just kidding. This jar, we put the M&Ms in it. I'll put in about 7 ounces, which is 3/4 of this cup, probably, roughly. Like that. There's some if I want to put on top, right? Or make another batch, right? Here, take one. You are quite welcome. Been a long time since you had an M&M. Okay. There you go. See? And this is what it ends up looking like. See? M&M cookies. I hope they turn out really good too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and chill this. And don't forget, I am gonna put pictures of my, completed project at the end of it. And hang on one second. Okay, I'm back. First of all, if you're new here and you don't know this, I put all of my recipes in the description. So you'll know, how long to cook it, what to set it at, and that, and you'll get all the ingredients, what you need for the recipe. So if you're new here, please comment, like, and subscribe so you can have all my recipes at your fingertips. And to my wonderful, faithfuls, and beautiful subscribers, thank you so much for your constant support. You've been with me for a long time, even when I have a dry spell where I don't turn anything in. But lately, I want you to know that I've been showing our dinner each and every night in the shorts. So if you want to see that, just head over to the shorts. If you don't have time for longer videos like this, head over to the shorts. It won't hurt my feelings. You have a life too. So yeah, I get it. Yeah. So I'll make sure that this M&M's cookies the recipe goes in the description for you. And before I go, there are some things I want to go over with you. One, always give that thumbs up. I'm always going to give it on your channel. Always, always, always. Okay. Two, what famous chefs have said about the gloves when you put them on for meat. Now, let me preface this by saying there are some out there that are better quality than others. I do not know what kind you buy. Did you see that fly? But if you buy good kind and you know all about them, that's fine. I'm not putting down what you do. You have to do what you have to do, right? I don't know what your doctor told you to do. Maybe you're not supposed to touch the meat for something that you have an ailment or something. I don't know. It's not my business. And your private kitchen is your private kitchen. I just want you to know what famous chefs are saying. They're saying that the black ones are porous. They never ever keep your skin from actually feeling or touching the meat. You think they are, they're not. Microscopically, a lot of the black ones out there, not all, it's just like picking up the meat. The black is just to make certain artists look cool. It gives a nice touch to it, a crisp. They flip the meat and they got black gloves on, and it's just like a visual thing. That's it. The blue gloves are what some chefs, depending on the product and if it's going to be cooked or not, will use. And the reason they use bright blue is because if perchance they slice a bit of it with their knife, they can see it in the food right away. Most food is not that bright plastic glove blue, and they can take it out right away and say, oh, well, I caught it. There it is. That's why they use that. And that's for certain things that they're putting together that aren't cooked. If it's cooked, 350 degrees, 425 degrees, whatever the case may be, it don't matter. Whatever is on and they always have clean hands. They're chefs. But whatever's on there, it gets killed anyway from the heat. I just wanted you to know that. Also, another thing I have written down to tell you and share with you, whether you agree or not, and you can give me your opinion in the comments. I didn't make these opinions, so it's not really from me. I just wanted to pass them on. How to really clean the bugs and larvae from strawberries. Use a tablespoon of vinegar for every 1 cup of water and let them soak for 15 minutes. They said unless strawberries soak for 15 minutes in a tablespoon of water to every cup of, for every cup of water, use a tablespoon of vinegar, and that will take the larvae off and the dirt. Yeah. I didn't know that there is larvae from bugs on the outside of strawberries. I have taken one and thrown it in my mouth after putting them in the trunk because I wanted a strawberry on the way home. I've done that. how many times have you been out in a field and done it? I've done that. So I'm assuming, you know, with vegetable gardens and all that, we eat dirt and all kinds of stuff in the course of a year that we're not aware of, you know, and we're not dying from it. But I just wanted you to know in case you're particular about that. Okay. The other thing, if you have a flask or a tumbler that has the little strips inside to seal it for like hot coffee or iced tea or iced coffee, and you're finding it really hard, or it always has a smell to it, or you're finding it hard to clean, you can use 3 ounces of distilled white vinegar and 1/4 cup of hard uncooked rice, and you put it in there. Looks like someone's trying to call me. And you shake it, and you let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And then after it's sat for 5 to 10 minutes with the 1/4 cup of rice and 3 ounces of distilled vinegar, then you shake it for 1 more minute, just like you did before the 5 to 10 minutes. You shake it for another minute, and then you rinse it with warm water. And whatever your mold problem was or your smell problem in that particular flask, you know, or plastic cup with the lid should be dissolved and resolved and should be good. And I wanted to pass that along to you too. So those are my 3 tips I wanted to talk to you today and to share my M&M cookie recipe. And I'll make sure that I attach photos of my cookies at the end of this video. I hope you have a fabulous night. Bye-bye.